Welcome to Wildcats Beyond the Norm, episode number 4. I'm stoked to have two guest Wildcats who are expert musicians for today's topic, which is the science of music. Say hello.
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 And hi.
Dang, you ruined the moment.
Sorry. Well, let's dive right into today's topic. What is your favorite style of music?
Well,
I love laugh music also.
Yes, that's I mean, music that makes me laugh, music that's emotional in general. I really like R&B because R&B, some of the lyrics in R&B just hit you in the soul like really hard, and it's just they're really emotional, and they just you can relate to most R&B songs in your own simple way.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And
Yes,
R&B stands for rhythm and blues, right?
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
I actually don't know, but yeah, we're just gonna say
Seriously?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's rhythm and blues.
Ah.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
If I'm wrong about that, listeners, deal with it. And what is your favorite type of music?
I don't really have a favorite type, but I listen to a lot of fact-based rap, indie pop, indie rock. I listen to a lot of Linkin Park.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started listening to this new band called Vinyl Theater, which just started to come around. They did a thing with 21 Pilots, which I also listen to a lot. And that's about it.
So
Cool.
a little bit of everything.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Except for K-pop. But, yeah.
Except for K-pop.
There's K-pop
That's
music
the
in the
one thing
background.
he leaves off the music radar. Okay, so now I know the types of music that you both personally like, but now I'm going to ask you a more personal question. When you perform music, or when you write music, or when you're thinking about what you want to do, what type of music do you want to create?
Well, okay, here's like most of my favorite artists I am very inspired by. Like Alessia Cara. Her music is great. It's simple, it's very R&B, and it's emotional. It's mostly love stories or like things that she makes up and stuff about that. And like most of the songs that I've written myself already are about love, which I've had no experience in, but I guess it's just wheels turning about my
Yeah.
inspirations.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's really cool that you like maybe not that you don't have experience in love per se, but I mean, you're human. You're of a certain age, right? The world is turning around you.
Yes.
So, I mean, you're still writing about what you know. That's awesome. Okay. Now you know the same question. I know what types of music you like and listen to, but what do you like to write? What do you like to perform? What do you like to create?
See, what I like to create is normally, like, I try to do a different base of dubstep with a mix of just, like, different and changed up EDM. Just messing with, like, the first album I did was just, like, full-on random. Just all I did was random because I just wanted to mess around, play with it. And then the second album I did, it was just like, I did it with, like, actually rhythm, nice rhythms I did with EDM and dubstep parts, and then I actually put, like, a lot of effort into it. And what I'm working on now is more of, like, what she said, inspiration. This one is based off, like, mood inspiration. Like, I'm using a lot of piano now. With dubstep drum beats, obviously. A little bit of EDM in there, but that's about it.
Cool. So when you're saying, just because, you know, there are going to be some listeners that they're like, did he say dubstep? What's EDM? Like, do I have it? So, like, you might want to help explain. I know EDM is electronic dance music.
Yes.
And it covers a ton of different genres or categories, if you want to put it that way.
Like Marshmallow.
Yeah, like marshmallows.
Dead Mouse.
I love marshmallows. They're good with chocolate. They're great with
I'm
graham
talking
crackers.
about the artist, sir.
Oh, the artist. Okay. So, yeah, so Marshmallow and
Dead Mouse.
Data Mouse, yeah, he's forever. Been around forever.
And then Steve Aoki. I think that's how you say his name.
I think it's, yeah.
I think
saw,
it's Aoki.
Did y'all see that documentary about him? I'll Sleep When I'm Dead?
No, I'll look at it later.
It's pretty amazing.
He owns Spotify.
Just that.
He owns part of it.
He owns part of Spotify?
Just
No
that
wonder.
title, I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, that sounds...
Because he's a DJ and he travels the world, he's so like highly regarded that
Yeah.
people, he's booked the whole year. So it's not like he doesn't want to work till he's dead. He's just so busy and he doesn't want to like say no to people. He wants to go and like enjoy life. And as a
Yeah.
DJ, he gets invited to literally make parties happen across the world.
Yeah, but I feel like that title and just what it says already has a lot of meaning
Oh
in
yeah,
what it is. It can have its own meanings to certain people.
sure.
Like, people shouldn't know that Steve Aoki is... Like, people don't know that he's a DJ. Or some people might not know that he's a DJ. So
Yeah.
when they see that, they might think of their own meaning or something
Oh
like
sure, yeah, yeah.
See,
that. Like, music.
Like music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it means something completely different. If we all listened to the same song right now and then wrote down what we were thinking, it would probably be 3 completely different answers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
see,
I was talking to someone. The other day about a Billie Eilish song. She's one of my favorite artists, and she just released a new album. And it was one of her newer songs, and they came up with a completely different concept than what I thought the song was actually about.
Yeah. Cool. What were we going to say?
with Steve Aoki, he brought up a new band which I started listening to back in 2013. They are now growing faster than most bands have ever grew. They're called AJR, which is based off of their name. Adam, James, and Ryan met. That's their names.
Cool.
They did a song with Steve Aoki and Lil Yacht.
All right, cool. All right, so we've talked a little bit about your influences. We've talked about the types of music that both of y'all like to create as well. And we'll get a chance to listen to some. I have some from you, but I do not have any of your music yet. When are you going to get us some music so we can play it on the podcast?
As soon as possible.
Yeah, I think
Probably.
that's a great answer.
Yeah.
You're our official music sponsor now, right?
Yep,
So all music that you hear on the podcast is his.
it's all by Form 6.
Form 6.
Form
Yep.
6.
My bad. Forgot your label. Form 6. But for you, I would love to get some of yours on here if you want. If you want. So now we need to dive into the real deal. The science of... So speaking of the science behind music, I want to know what happens when we actually physically sing. I mean, how does that tone or that pitch or that particular sound come out of your mouth?
Well, I mean, there's a thing in your
It's okay. It's all right.
there's this thing in your throat called the larynx, or more commonly known as the voice box. And it all really depends on how much air you push out of your lungs and how your vocal cords vibrate.
Okay. So speaking of that, if it's cool with you, I would love for you to give us a demonstration of voice because you're an amazing singer.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I can sing a little bit of the chorus from James Arthur.
Okay. I'd love to hear it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Will you call me to tell me you're alright? 'Cause I worry about you the whole night. Don't leave me this way. I won't sleep till you're safe inside.
My goodness. That is so awesome.
Dankeschön. German for thank you.
Oh, cool. De nada. So
What, is that like Spanish or something?
that's Spanish. It's like no worry, like
I speak
no big
a little
deal.
bit of German because my aunt's German. That's why.
Cool. We'll practice it sometime. But I mean, what a great example of and to think that all that is happening just because you are willing, like pushing air from your lungs through your trachea, your windpipe, through your larynx, your voice box, and then your vocal cords are either a little bit closer, a little bit further away, and they're just moving at these different vibrations. That's crazy. That was so good. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I wish
My
I
pleasure.
could do that.
Right?
I mean, actually,
I'm gonna sing the same one. Ready? Call me and tell me you're all right.
Yep.
Can you call me maybe?
That was
No,
that was perfect. Call me baby.
no,
Hey, I just
no,
met you.
no.
I don't know how to sing.
This podcast is over. It will self-destruct in 3, 2,
4.
1. Well, we didn't implode. We're actually still alive. Well,
Yeah.
we didn't implode yet, right?
Yeah, for now.
For now, we're okay. But we are back, and we are recording the closing segment of the podcast. And there's a question that I did not get a chance to ask you. So if it's okay, I'd like to ask you a question.
All right.
Thank you. What is it that makes you want to make music?
It depends. I just started making music for just messing around, and then later on, it just depended on my mood on how I wanted to do music and on why. Especially with a bunch of my new music, it's just like it's mainly on the mood, and then like the mood changes in the middle of it because that's just how I felt.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense because according to this study that I was reading, psychological effects of music help us explore our emotions, help us explain our emotions without necessarily having to talk to other people, right? So maybe we don't want to tell people like, today's not the best day, or, everything's cool. Whatever the emotion or however we're feeling, you can actually express that through notes or through composition. Kind of what you do is, creating not just a melody, but like the entire song, which is really cool. But yeah, so when you're making music, let's say you get done with a particular piece, like a song, how do you feel at the end?
I just feel like replaying it and reliving the mood I was in and for a little bit.
Positive or negative or whatever it was, just kind of like...
Just reliving the mood I was in.
Interesting. Does it ever help you feel a certain way that you want to feel, or...
It depends on what song I go back to, because I looked at Coordinate, which is the beginning part of the song.
Mm-hmm.
I always hated the beginning for some reason, and then once I hit the middle, around the end, it just like brought the mood back to what I had whenever I was making it.
That's cool. So when you're making music, it seems to be that you're following, kind of like this study says, you're following this mood effect or this mood hypothesis that they put forward, basically saying that some artists, like yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some artists, when they're making music, very oftentimes their music is based off of their mood, and they express themselves through whatever they put out.
That's exactly what most artists think. That's what most artists actually do. Most artists don't want to be the same, so they change the mood to like multiple moods and try to change it like every 30 seconds, messing with it, making themselves stand out compared to everyone else.
And I would say, like, I know I'm not trying to be an ageist or anything. Like, I'm not saying anything negative about your age. What I'm saying is, I know that you're young, but I feel like your music is pretty mature and it's like really well organized. And it seems like, do you know the word prolific?
No, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not musical, not diction. No.
I got you. So prolific means someone who turns out a lot of whatever they're into. So let's say I was a writer. If I was a prolific writer, I would write lots of books, right? Or I would write lots of articles or lots of essays. If you're a musician and you're prolific, you do lots of songs. Like, I've seen part of your library. It's huge. And today you were showing me some new songs that you've already started working on. I think that's so awesome. And I'm really proud that you've shared your work with us. And I would like to ask, as we start to wrap up this podcast, what song do you think would be the perfect song to play as our outro from you?
Honestly, I'm going to have to go with my new one, which is called Everything's Alright, because it's just the chill mood that this entire thing was alright.
That's cool. Awesome. Well, I want to thank all of you for listening, all three of you for listening. I usually say 3 people because I'm guessing about 3 people hear the podcast.
Pretty much. Unless we can probably be viral, but we don't know it.
Yo, wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be pretty cool.
What if we looked on the podcast channel and it's like, instead of 30 views, it's 300,000? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then here comes the problem. Everybody would want to get a hold of your music, and then you'd have to be wealthy, And I'm just kidding.
Why not? I won't have to be wealthy. I just have to pay $12 a month to put each album on Spotify, and then just take it.
And hope people start downloading it and you start getting sponsored and all that.
Yep.
What's the goal? Okay, well, what's the goal with your music? Do you want to
I
just
want to
make
be
it
able.
for
I want
yourself?
to.
Or?
I want to be able to share it for everyone to see.
Cool.
I want to show the creativity of what I do and what my friends do to help me with what I do.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing more. I know this year, the school year is wrapping up, but you've got a whole nother year here, and I'm really excited to see what happens with your circle of friends who are so talented through animation, through music, through everything else y'all do. I think it's going to be pretty cool to see what y'all make and what y'all do. But anyway, thanks everybody for listening to this episode 4 of Wildcats Beyond the Norm. We're going to play our outro. Will be the entire song of Everything is Fine.